Bruce, I mentioned one movie, but I'm going to let you be the boss of this. You can do a lightning round. You can do whatever you want. Talk about a recommend for this week, or maybe two or three, or you can do whatever you want.
Well, for sure, mention the one, and I might just lightning mention the other two because they're just people know about them and they can find them really easy. But just this last week, the Iron Claw dropped on your face, pushed you to the ground. But the Iron Claw, which came out, I think, around November, December last year, A24, if I remember correctly,
Sure.
was kind of out there to see if they could get some award season buzz and all that kind of stuff. But if you're like me, and a lot of people probably did not have a chance to go see it or didn't get around to seeing it. So now it is on Max. And I thought, cool, watch The Iron Claw. Directed by Sean Durkin, who also hasn't directed a ton of movies, but did direct Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. I get the name right. I think this director should probably do more because pretty cool stuff they put out. If you don't know what the Iron Claw is about, Eric, did you watch this movie? I can't remember if you watched it when it came out. Yep. This seems like one that Eric would definitely be interested in watching if he has not seen it.
Well, you know what, Bruce? Sorry.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Eric has not seen this movie because did you grow up a Von Erich family fan, or growing up maybe wrestling? Because one of the reasons I don't want to watch
Texas Tornado because he kind of looked like Ultimate Warrior without face paint. But actually, I was supposed to watch this with Brad Finney, and then we never did, and then he passed away. So, but yeah, I should probably at least watch it in his honor, if nothing else.
It's just so sad. As a kid, Bruce, you and I grew up in the '80s with wrestling, and I'm assuming you knew the Von Erich stuff. It's just.
Yeah, I don't know if I knew all of it, or I might have heard it and it kind of faded away, but I knew the basic strokes. But I mean, in essence, this is a biopic, but an elevated biopic, I would say, basically about the Von Erich family. They have a patriarch, and very well played by Holt McCallany. I don't know if I say his name right. He was also McCallany.
I'm thinking like Rob McElhenney. So
McElhenney. It might be. You might be right.
Or McCallany. Either one.
He's a great
the guy
actor.
from Mindhunter.
Yes, I was going to say from Mindhunter. That's where I knew him from. But he's been in a bunch of things, and he's just one of those guys like Brian Dennehy or something. Just a burly like guy that looks like he might be a drill instructor or a football coach or both, and he just
or a dad.
He scares you. Like, you see this guy, so he's perfect for this kind of like ex wrestler that never quite made it to the top, who's raising many sons. I think they even cut a son out of the actual history of this. I think there's even more sons than they show here, but in this one there's 4 sons. Most notably, you've got Zac Efron, juiced beyond belief, and you've got Jeremy Allen White. Those are the two like real hot names right now. But other than that, they're all done really well. And this is one of those things where even like myself and Greg, if you kind of know where the story's heading, they still have the ability in this movie, in the first half of this movie, to draw you into the characters and to have you rooting for them and worrying about them and rooting for them and wanting things to happen, or being upset with the dad being such a kind of a stage dad in a sense, and it's like any good quote tragedy. You hope for a different outcome knowing there won't be a different outcome, and that the outcome doesn't stop you. It's just, it has that weird effect. And I don't know if you've had those movies where you're like, I know what's going to happen and I still don't want it to happen, but I'm still watching hoping it won't happen. You have that kind of weird dichotomy of behavior, I guess. It's really, really good.
Bruce, did this movie, was it unfairly ignored during award season? Because there was a big, like you said, to do about it. It was up front and center as far as putting it out there for your consideration season. How do you feel?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of great stuff out there this year, but I think this definitely, I'd have to go back and see who else was in the conversation. I feel like at least 1 or 2 roles could have been nominated here easily. There's a lot of great, especially, I'd say Zac Efron, and maybe for supporting actor, Holt would be kind of easy gives for this movie. And it looks great. It just kind of has that sundown 80s, 70s kind of heat to it. This just is really good.
Okay. That is the Iron Claw. Your rating, Bruce?
I'll probably go 4.5 on it. No reason it's not 5 per se. It's just really good, but it didn't quite make it to 5 for me. But I think it's a little long, I guess. That would be one thing for some people. But to me, it didn't feel long because you have so many characters to follow that you have all the stories to kind of wrap up. So I think if you are interested at all, even if you don't think you're interested in wrestling, this is a human story. So I think that's one thing I would tell people who are pushed off by the wrestling part, you know?
Okay.